Hello, I'm Julie Wilkins, and I wanted to offer you today a really brief, simple video for yoga for scoliosis. I get requests for this a lot. It's really difficult to make a generic video or generic instructions because yoga for scoliosis is very specific to the individual case and the individual curvatures. With that being said, I'm going to give you my best few exercises for lateral curvatures of the spine, particularly the lateral S-shaped curvature of the spine that's most common with scoliosis. So we want to start with doing a couple of postures that are going to elongate, provide traction, and lengthen the spine in a neutral way, and lengthen the tissues as well. So you'll begin coming into hands and knees. And just take a moment here to take a couple of deep breaths to begin to feel and orient to your body. Notice the asymmetries. Notice if the right hip tends to hug higher than the left hip, or the right shoulder tends to hug higher than the left shoulder. And then we'll take our first pose, puppy pose, by keeping the hips over the knees and walking the hands flat out in front with straight arms and slowly letting the forehead come down to the floor. So keep the toes tucked under. Keep pushing the knees apart and pushing the sit bones back and up so you elongate through the spine evenly. Now you might notice that one side of the waist feels shorter than the other, and this may just take some time to tune into. So see if you can stretch that hand, that side, even longer, and begin to breathe neutral space into the spine, providing traction. Keep pushing the thigh bones back towards the heels, hugging the knees apart from each other, and stretching the arms and hands long, and taking 5 full breaths here. It's helpful to have somebody come and look at your spine in that position and just notice what happens when you give it a nice neutral elongated traction position. The next one that we'll do, you'll need a chair. So come to stand about a leg length away from the chair. Take your feet hip-width apart and then lean forward one at a time. Carefully put your hands on the back of the chair. Now make your arms very straight and strong. Even inch your feet back just slightly so that you can tip your chest forward. Keep looking forward until your torso comes parallel to the floor. Now slightly bend your knees, move your thigh bones back, and keep your ears in line with your upper arms. Keep your hands and fingers spread and the base or the heel of your palms pressing firmly into the back of the chair. Now with each inhale, fully elongate through the trunk and through the sides of the body, even slowly moving your bottom side to side, your hips side to side, and getting some space in these tissues. Again, helpful to have somebody look at your back in this position and notice what they see, and just give you feedback about what they see when you're in this nice long neutral position. 5 full breaths here to come up, press down through your feet, look forward, push down through your strong legs, step forward and stand. Then coming into Tadasana or mountain pose, take a moment to stand in a neutral, upright position, palms forward, feet parallel. And this is a great place for you to feel now with a little bit of energy in your body. Begin to notice the posture and the orientation of your unique spine. So in typical scoliosis, one hip is generally higher than the other. So take a moment to feel and see if you can tell that one hip is higher than the other. In most cases, not all, in most cases the right hip is a bit higher than the left, and if you looked in a mirror you'd see just a little bit more of a defined waistline on the right. So almost a line here on the right side that's telling you that there's a shortening here of the right side waist. So our next pose is an asymmetric pose, meaning that we would only do it on one side with the intention to elongate the shortened side. So step one, feel your shortened side. Which side has the hip higher than the other hip? For me, it's the right. So what I'm going to do is take a stack of blankets or some pillows and roll them up so that I have a bolster. Something like this. Now I want to spend some time opening and elongating that shortened right side. So I'm going to lay on my left side on the bolster. And if your curves are the opposite, you'll just change direction. So if your left hip is higher than your right, you'll lay on the right side. If your right hip is higher than the left, you'll lay on your left side. So you want the bolster to come right into that side waist. Reach your top arm up and out so you can lay your head and ear on that side. And then make your legs straight. Flex your feet. Take your top arm and reach towards the other one, the other arm. Now you'll immediately feel this big stretch here in that shortened side. So start to breathe really nice and big into the rib cage, into the side waist. 5 to 10 breaths here. Really stay with the breath. Let the breath move from the inside out, expanding the rib cage fully. Keep the feet active, the legs strong to provide stability as you open. Take your time here, a few more breaths if you choose, and then we'll come out. We're not going to do the other side. We're only going to do that shortened side. So now we'll come back up and into Tadasana, mountain pose, and stand and feel the difference.